Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of Love Life After. I'm your host, Christelle, and today we're diving deep into a story that's all about strength, healing, and transformation. This conversation is a reminder that no matter what you've been through, your story still has power, and you can rise again just like a phoenix.
Baby, you're my coat. She got me feeling like a dope fiend. I'm addicted to a black queen, baby, you're my coat. She got me feeling like a dope fiend. I'm addicted to a black queen,
Welcome back to Love Life After. I am Christelle, and on today's episode, I have the most beautiful, well rounded entrepreneur, and I just want her to go ahead and introduce herself, and so we can dive into today's episode.
Wow, what an introduction. But to let everyone know, my name is Shawaun Jones. I am pretty multifaceted in a lot of the things that I do. Not only do I have a podcasting show as well entitled Shaking Up the Algorithms, but I also function as the owner of two businesses, the Lotus Vision Inc. Coaching and Publishing, where I help people to find the journey or the healing and beauty in their story by publishing their books. And also, I'm a graphic designer with Twin Force Production and Design. So we work with different businesses to promote marketing materials, business branding, logos, you name it, we do it. So, yeah, I'm pretty busy.
Wow. No, and so as I was reading your bio, I was just like, how does she do it, or how does she juggle everything and still like find time for yourself? How do you do that?
It can be challenging at times. The good thing is, one business will be flourishing more than the other, so it gives me a little leeway. It's not like I'm busy back to back with everything. Honestly, the podcast I kind of put to the side because I wanted to build the businesses more, and just create a different clientele and customer base that I could then bring on to the podcast. So that's pretty much what I'm doing now between that. But between being a mom and juggling, the businesses and then my customers, it can be challenging at times, but I do like it. For me, I feel as if, the stress of it all, as you would say, it really motivates me a lot more. So I enjoy it though.
Okay, so we're like totally opposite. The stress motivate you. The stress does not motivate me at all. So can you tell me a little bit about your journey and like what inspired you to start doing all the stuff that you do?
Well, to kind of give you a little backstory, I've always wanted to um, write a book. That was the first thing I wanted to do. The entrepreneurship actually came later. And in 2021, I was diagnosed with a really weird cancer called nasopharyngeal carcinoma. I had a tumor in my nasal passage, and it was stage 4. So as I was going through my treatments, that's when I started my first business.
Oh,
Um, so I would be at the hospital literally with my laptop working and creating designs. I was selling skincare and clothing, and I had customers in the hospital. My nurses were my customers. So that's what fueled the entrepreneurship bug, I guess you could say. And from there, it just took off into other things. But my question to myself was, how was I going to find a way to bring about all the different talents and ideas that I had into one thing? I always thought I needed to have one thing, but I could never, put it together in that way. So when the opportunity came for me to write the book, it just everything just funneled from there. The book was published in 2022, and everything just took off from that point on. It allowed me to be creative with my art skills, with my writing skills, with being able to communicate more effectively in public and through my writing. So it just, everything that I, like I said, all of the different skills and talents that I had, it just all accumulated into these different areas.
It's powerful just hearing, and so now you're able to help other people do the same thing.
Correct.
I just want to say you are one of the strongest person I know. Just listening to going through all of that and still being like able to continue on with your business because not everybody could do that. So just power to you. Much, much, much respect.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm sorry that you had to go through that too as well.
Well, I mean, honestly, I'm not sorry. I feel like that was God's way of pushing me into a different direction and really showing me that I was a lot stronger than I thought I was. So I was able to not only overcome the cancer because I'm 4 years in remission, but it pushed me to a level professionally that I don't think I would have ever gotten to had I not gone through it. So I'm thankful for it.
Just hearing you say that just motivated me. But I think just listening to you now, like, and thinking back, I'm like, it was for a reason,
Yeah,
like all
definitely.
those things happen for a reason to put us in a path that we are on today. So I applaud you. I applaud you for looking at it in that direction and taking yourself out of, yourself pretty much and like going back and say, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Definitely.
Do you ever feel like or still get nervous with, speaking?
No, I'm not nervous about it. I'm very cautious though because I know it's not, I don't want to say it's not acceptable, but it's not appropriate for all spaces. I'll put it that way. So I'm very selective in how I bring out that story, especially with a little more detail. I may graze on it a bit, but I don't go into detail with everyone. Because again, it's not always the time or place for it. But it does bring about a certain prevalence that needs to be recognized because without going through that challenge, it wouldn't have propelled me to do and be the person that you see today. So I needed that.
Yeah. In your book, you talk about all of this in your book?
Well, the book itself, it's actually part one of the series. So I don't talk about the cancer journey. That book was actually written for my own personal healing. And I felt that some of the things that I had experienced could also be a learning lesson for other people as well. Now, what I do have a certification as a life coach. I just don't operate in that. But a lot of the life coaching skills and techniques I used in that particular book, just to give people insight on how to overcome childhood trauma and how it affects our lives in different ways that we may not even realize subconsciously what we're actually doing. So that book just brought about a lot of different stories, a lot of different instances in my family that really stuck with me for years. And it took me a period of going through my own personal, I guess you could say my own personal journey of releasing those things. Personally, again, the cancer, I think that it was just needed on so many levels for me. And that allowed me to really come to a place where I had to release those things because I understood at that moment this was why I was in the situation that I was in. Just built up stress, unresolved resentment, unforgiveness, things of these natures, all of that built up emotional turmoil caused, a lot of the, transition in my body to even take on this illness. So knowing that now, I'm much more mindful And I also advocate other people, you know, if these are some things that you're dealing with, address it now. Yeah. Don't wait until the last minute. You know what I mean? So really, that's what the book was about. Following that book, I also created a woman's journal. It's like a devotional journal that helps you to go through and to release any of the trauma that you've experienced in your life. And to be able to just love on yourself more. You know, that's one thing when you're going through or you've been through trauma, you kind of disassociate how to really love on you. Because sometimes you're so busy trying to just fit in and exist in the situation that you're in. So for me, you know, I had to really come to grips with just being okay with being okay.
Right. Right. I could resonate with that a lot in so many ways. So with you, like, so, you know, with the healing part is always after, right? Because we never really heal from what we experience because we go through it because it's a journey. So,
Correct.
you know, and I know you help people write their own stories and from, I mean, I guess from like often from a place of pain or transformation, what do you think make writing such a powerful tool for healing?
Well, I think why it's so powerful is because words have power. And not only just us speaking, but us writing them as well. I'm not a Bible scholar, but it does say in the Bible that when you write the vision, you make it plain. So that's the whole intention with writing as well. You are literally writing the vision for your life, or you're writing the vision for your goals, for your dreams, for your future. So don't take that lightly, just as far as when you're out speaking to people.
Do you have an inspiration to start your own podcast? Are you still undecided about starting your podcast? Well, Buzzsprout has the tool to support and to help you along your way. And they also have a community to ensure you keep on podcasting. Buzzsprout have helped over 400,000 podcasters launch their shows since 2009. So we've seen it all. I've been using Buzzsprout since 2017. Buzzsprout has helped us list our episode on so many platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Deezer, Pandora, and so much more. Buzzsprout has reached over millions of listeners by listening to our podcast in all these platforms. If you are still unsure about which platform to use, click the link in my description box and head over to Buzzsprout to get more information. Remember, that's BUZZSPROUT.com. Again, BUZZSPROUT.com. Happy podcasting. Have you ever had a client story deeply move you or shift your own perspective? So has anybody's story ever so moved you or shift the way of your own perspective?
Well, I will say this. One client that I've worked with, she's also a survivor, but her story was a bit different because although we're both mothers, her children were very, very young during the time in which she was going through her journey. They were only 2 and 4 years old. So she actually recently asked me to help her create a book, a children's book that would help to explain what she went through and how she taught her children the different scenarios and different things that they may see as she was going through her journey. It it made me not only feel honored that she would ask me to do it, but because I have a similar story, it was almost as if I knew it was divine that I had to do it. I think in certain situations, only certain people are able to connect or align themselves with certain projects or certain material, whether it's through experience or, again, whether it's just ordained. And I felt in that situation it was both.
Yeah.
And the best part about it was her book ended up becoming a bestseller.
What? That's amazing.
I'm super excited for her, but again, I'm even more proud that she put the story out there. So
yeah. So I think it's, a lot of the time it's fear, right? We're so scared to put our story out there, because I know I'm there. I'm just now working on a way to convince people that are in the book, because I've written books, but I never publish it. And I've been in a space where it's like, I'm no longer in that fear space, but now I'm just trying to get approval from the people that are in the book so I could be able to share that story. So I think it's amazing, how that inspire you to really keep going with your story, because a lot of the time, like, how we balance the truth about our own story could encourage somebody else, and then without us even knowing it. So what's one transformation that really stuck with you through all this process?
One of the major transformations for me was having and you mentioned this before. I think for me it was having the acceptance of my family. Because my story touched on a lot of the negative side, but it also spoke on the positive as well. But again, you can never really tell how other people are going to embrace it or how they're going to receive it. Yeah. So to have my family read it and almost be taken aback in a good way, it really made me feel good, because it allowed me again to be able to release it and to get it out, but for it to be embraced. So that helped me a lot. That helped me a lot.
Thank you for sharing that. So with all these roles, right? You're an author, coach, designer, speaker. What's the deeper mission that ties with all of these roles together for you?
The deeper mission, and it sounds like it has nothing to do with anything that I do, but the deeper mission is to be an advocate for women and families. My goal overall is to be able to use the skills and talents that I had to be able to then promote and advocate for women and families that are homeless. I definitely want to put them in a place where they're also able to tell their stories. I'm very connected to that, I guess you could say, that theme somewhat. My family and we've experienced homelessness. And because we don't look or have the look of what's considered homeless, I felt like that was one of the major things that God used me for that period of time, to be able to let people know, again, homelessness is not what you think it is. It can look very well kept. It can look very functional. It can look very put together. A homeless, you could be working with someone, and you see them every day, and they seem to function well, but they have no home to go to. Yeah. So these are some of the things that we have to be mindful of, and just to be able to give women in that situation, and men. It's not just women. We have fathers out here too that experience the same thing. But to not have the support that you need, it's a juggle mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You're going through so many things, but yet and still you have to remain strong, and you have to remain this pillar in front of your family in order to continue to survive. So I want to be able to assist these families to gain the stability that they need and the independence to get out of survival mode.
Yeah. Wow. Kudos to you. Kudos. Like, so how do you stay grounded, and how do you take care of yourself, like your self-love? how do you stay grounded through all of this?
Well, I'm still working on that. I'm a work in
Okay.
progress because
Okay.
I'm always still putting people before myself sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But to just have those moments of, I'll exercise.
Mm-hmm.
I do like walking. Sometimes I'll just go out and just walk. Put
Mm-hmm.
my music on and I'm good.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate prayer and meditation. Um, my worship music,
Mm-hmm.
it starts my day. I cannot go a day without
Without it.
having that time with God. And to it just give him thanks,
Mm-hmm.
it could have been another way. So
Mm-hmm.
for me to even wake up each day, that's the gift. That's the
Yeah.
gift.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful for the gift every day. But these small things, it helps
Mm-hmm.
to keep me focused. It helps to keep me balanced throughout the day. And yes, even when there are times when, my day will start off great because I'm
Mm-hmm.
coming out of worship or I'm coming out of prayer and I'm
Mm-hmm.
geared up and I'm ready. And then something happens and it just crushes my whole mood. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that's when I literally sit back now and I'm like, okay, I know what
Mm-hmm.
you're doing. I
Yeah.
see what you're doing. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay though, because I'm gonna
Yes.
still win.
Yes.
And so I have learned now throughout all of these different things that I've experienced, I've
Mm-hmm.
learned now how to channel some of that negative emotion and that negative energy and still
Mm-hmm.
speak positive, even when it doesn't look positive.
Mm. Yes.
And that's what helps me to get through.
Yes. 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 And I wanted to say this because this has stuck with me. Sometimes I feel like things happen in our life for at the season we're in because of something greater that God is preparing us for and we don't know it.
Definitely.
So we may feel like we're in this turmoil right now, but at the end of the day, we always need to remember that it's for God's good, for God's glory. So whatever we are, wherever we are now, it's for a reason, And one thing that I've learned from listening to my pastor a few weeks ago is when that door closed, when that stuff is locked up, don't open that file. Because when you
Mm-hmm.
start going back and opening that file, it opens other doors that God don't really want you to open, but you're stuck in this turmoil because you're not being obedient. So, just
Mm-hmm.
like listening to you and how motivational, uplifting, and just like positive you are about things that are going on with your life. And somebody may look at that and see it as a motivation, and somebody will be like, how in the world is she, doing this? Like, I can't do this. And that's powerful in itself. Like, and that just like you sharing your story even made me like, because what I do is I try to encourage people to share their story. It just
Mm-hmm.
motivated me more to like continue to do what I'm doing because this is our first time meeting. And
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
felt like such a connection because everything you've been talking about, I'm like, oh wow, I've been there, I've done that, I can relate. So just knowing that God put, even when I reach out, I was like, God put us in people's direction for a reason, and we have to
He
like
does.
start being obedient and follow through with those things that start listening to all the little stuff that comes, that we may not admit is this God, is this the devil, like just
Mm-hmm.
being obedience and like really listening and just following through. I think that's a win at the end.
It
So
is.
so
It is.
yeah, I just all I can do is clap for you. So and I have one more question, and then we could
For
give a
sure.
clue. What kind of impact do you hope that people listening or people all around you? What kind of impact do you hope they walk away with after either listening to you or working with you?
That is such a good question. Oh my goodness. Okay. The main thing I want people to take away is one, there's always power in connection.
Mm-hmm.
There's power in your word, and I mentioned that earlier, the things that we speak, there's power in that. But also what I want people to understand is, and I'll put this in somewhat of a story. I'll frame it in a story. During this whole journey, God has given me different scriptures or different things that I was to stand on in certain periods of my life. For a long time, one scripture was Galatians 6:9. Be not weary in well doing, for in due season you shall reap and faint not. I stood on that for about maybe 8 years, right? That was my go-to for everything, you know. Then there was Isaiah 40, I think it's 40:18. But now, in light of all of this, and I didn't understand it at first until literally maybe 2 weeks ago. I had been touching on Habakkuk in my book. And but God said, no, I don't want you to use that. I want you to use Hebrews 11:1. And I was like, because I'm really big on numbers, 111, right? Even in my name on TikTok, it ends with 111, right? Oh, wow. So I was like, God, why do you keep telling me 111? Why 111? So when he told me Hebrews 11:1, I said, okay, this makes sense. So Hebrews 11:1 says, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. My name on social media is Miss J, the evidence. Oh, wow. And I realize now that out of everything that I've gone through, I still came out without any scars, without any smoke, nothing. You know, I wasn't damaged nor broken, you know, and a lot of times people don't understand that these situations were made or created to build us and to strengthen us for what is to come. And so I'm just thankful, you know, that God put me in this position. I don't sit back and say, why me anymore, which is the title of my book, God, why me? Because I asked that question for so many years, but I don't ask that anymore because now I understand. My question to myself is, why not me? It's supposed to be me. It's supposed to be. I was built for this. Created me for this. He created me to be the evidence for people. To allow them to see, hey, if she can go through all of that, then what I'm dealing with is nothing.
Exactly. Wow. Yes, girl. I love that. Yes, like so many confirmation just listening to you today. This was meant to be. For us to connect today, this was meant to be. And I'm going to share some of this with my Bible study group today because this had just been like, it put a lot into perspective. And hopefully I would love for us to work more or, you know, even down to like, yes, I would love that because there's so much that you said today that confirmed. Today's been like a comfort. I was in a meeting with a BA today and so many confirmations. So I feel like God really like aligned us at the right time, especially when we're going through some things and we don't know why.
That's true.
So yeah, I'm just so thankful for you today. I really appreciate you. One piece of advice, real quick. What advice would you give to anybody listening who feels like they want to share their story, but don't know where to start?
I feel like the best thing that anyone should do, a lot of times just writing for yourself, that's a form of healing as well, just to be able to journal. But to take it to the next level of publishing or to expose what you've written, it really requires you to be in a place where you're vulnerable enough to be able to expose yourself or to be able to be naked in front of people, because really that's what it is. You have to get to that place where you are now so authentic with who you are at your core that no one can ever place you in a box because of what you've endured or because of what you've been through. You really have to be in a place mentally where you are okay with you. a lot of times those of us, and I could speak for myself, there were times in which, I went through my people pleasing phase. And I was very consumed about how other people viewed me. And it stunted a lot of the things that I'm doing now because I was so worried that I wouldn't appease someone else, or someone else wouldn't be happy with my work, or I'm going to make somebody else mad. And I just got to a place where I'm like, hey, you're either going to like me or you don't. There's someone out there that's going to love me just for who I am. Not because I had to do anything for it, not because I had to give anything for it, but because of just who I am and showing up. So at the end of the day, I just tell people, when you love yourself enough, it's not going to matter what other people think. You're going to want to share that story because your story could be the very blessing to save someone else's life.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She said it all because I'm lost of word. I don't even know what to say. Like everything she said it all. I've said it before, but this is just her confirming everything that I've always been saying. So I just want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart for joining me to share today, because your insight, just the story you shared just now, like in your healing transformation, were very powerful. Because I could take so much from it, and I hope the people that are listening to can do the same. And I know that, sometimes our listener, they may or may not walk away from what I've shared inspired, but I honestly hope that this story, your story, will inspire somebody to take action now into just like writing or, just being very appreciative of the things that happen with them, and not just be stuck in that one-sided way in their life right now, because it all starts just by doing something. And that writing piece will definitely help. Just by sharing our story, it could change the world for better, for better.
Definitely.
And I appreciate your openness and just the way that you show up, like authentically you. And I just love that. And this was just such a beautiful conversation, and I really, really appreciate you for, just allowing me to bring your story on this platform. Is there any last thing that you want to share before we close?
Well, I just wanted to let any and everyone know you can find me on social media. I am on Facebook under Shawaun Jones. That's my name. You can find me on Instagram. My Instagram name or pen name is Phoenix, the number 2, Rize, Phoenix to Rise. And on TikTok, I am as the author lady, or author lady 111. So you can find me anywhere. You can also go to the website, shawaunjones.com. That'll give you links to everything that I do. You can also see clips from some of my podcast episodes. It takes you directly to the Twin Force production and design site, as well as the Lotus Vision site as well. I have stuff about my books up there, book trailers, things of that nature. So check me out, everyone. I'm definitely available for anyone to know.
We didn't even mention your vision, connecting people, the vision branding. Yeah, so if she didn't mention it, but y'all make sure you follow her. She does help people with their brand, brand visuals, right? So, yeah, and she will definitely help you. So make sure you follow her and make sure that you connect with her. I will definitely put her description, her website on there, so you can just click on it. Like she said, if you go on her website, everything is on there. So be sure to go on there. The description will be in the box, okay? I just want to say thank you again so much. Thank you for your support too as well. If you guys have anything, any comment or concern, please email us at lovelifeafter18@gmail.com, and we will make sure we answer all your comments and concerns. Excuse me. Thank you again so much for listening.